hello Bio 2. We are continuing on with chapter 23. We've taken a look at stems and roots, and now we're going to take a look at leaves. So our first topic here in this video is going to be the structure of a leaf. So we're going to look at how the structure of a leaf enables it to carry out photosynthesis. Because remember, we said that the leaf's main job is to carry out photosynthesis. And they first start by saying that the structure of a leaf is optimized for absorbing light and carrying out photosynthesis. Again, this is review. So now we're going to look at some of the structures within the leaf that kind of help it do that. So our first one are called blades. So to collect sunlight, most leaves have thin, flattened sections called blades. So we can see we have this whole section here on the left is bracketed in as a blade, and this whole area, even though they look like maybe individual blades, this whole thing is going to be considered a blade. We will talk about the difference between these two and what those actually little parts are here in a second. So the first part, the biggest part of a leaf, is what we're going to refer to as a blade. And the blade is attached to the stem by a thin stalk called a petiole. So we can see down here, right in this area, right in the middle, we have a petiole on both of those. So that's what's going to connect the stem, right, we have down here, to the actual blade is the petiole. So our next structure we're going to have, actually simple leaves have only one blade and one petiole. So over here on the left, we can see we have one big blade and one petiole. And compound leaves, this leaf here on the right, have several blades. As you can see, each one of these little blades, or called a leaflet. So another word for the individual blades are the leaflets that are joined together and to the stem by several petioles. So we have a petiole right here, and then each one of these little structures that is connecting the leaflets to the main petiole here are also petioles as well. So we have one main petiole with a bunch of little petioles going around the outside. So that is it for our main function, our main structures here within the leaf. So we have petioles and blades, and kind of some review from the stem. We have a bud growing right there close to close to where it meets with the stem, and then the stem as well. So leaves are covered on the top and bottom by epidermis. So remember, we said epidermis is the outer covering. So this picture right here is kind of a cross section of a leaf. You can see we have the same types of cells on top as there are on bottom. So those are called epidermis. And then the epidermis of many leaves is covered by the cuticle. So they look like they're almost peeling this layer away. That's the thin waxy layer that's going to help keep water in. It's known as the cuticle. So that's on many leaves as well. And the cuticle and epidermal cells form a waterproof barrier that protects tissues inside the leaf and limits the loss of water through evaporation. So this cuticle, going back, is like a waterproofing. This cuticle combined with the epidermis is like a waterproofing system that is going to keep water in, and it's going to limit water loss through evaporation, because plants, we know one of their needs is water, so they can't be losing it all the time. And the vascular tissues of leaves are connected directly to the vascular tissues of the stems. So our xylem and our phloem, you can see we have those right in the middle. Those are going to be direct continuations from the stem. They don't form new systems. So our xylem and our phloem just come right off of the stem. So in leaves, the xylem and phloem tissues are gathered together in bundles that run from the stem into the petiole. We mentioned that already. And then in the leaf blade, the vascular bundles are surrounded by parenchyma and sclerenchyma cells, which, remember, we said were ground tissue. And then all these tissues form the veins of a leaf. So our xylem and our phloem, plus that surrounding ground tissue, are going to make what is known as a vein inside of the leaf. So if you ever see a vein in a leaf, you know that that is xylem and phloem. So that is it for the structure of a leaf. Let me know if you have any questions.